Hello everybody, Skyrim here, back again with another Diablo Immortal video. Alright, we're talking all things crafting in this video, and as you can see, we are still, as of this recording anyway, waiting for maintenance to happen. So some of you in the future, of course, might already have this happen, and of course, in the future, depending on when you see this video, I may as well too, and I'll be doing a whole nother video showing the entire process in its entirety once I get my hands on this. But I'm most looking forward to this entire thing of crafting in this game. So let's go ahead and get in discussion for a conversation piece, and also for something to watch while some of us might be on waiting for maintenance to happen. All right, here we go. We're gonna do a side-by-side. The Chinese patch notes is on the right-hand side with the Google translated, and it's good. That is it in its entirety, so you can pause this and read it for yourselves if you so choose. Hey, that's completely up to you. You have that option, of course. And I'm going to go into the global patch notes first on the left-hand side here. Let's get into it. Now, they're going to add nodes, mineral ore nodes. It's going to give iron and silver, and then there might be also a chance to obtain the stained remains, which the icon of them look like fangs, which is what is referred to in the Chinese patch notes, and rightfully so, because they look like fangs or tusks. But anyway, so we can acquire them through various means: open world, Terra Rift, Oblivion Pillars, Hellslayer bounties, that kind of thing. And the stained remains are harvested from elite packs, so that's going to be dropping like the pet food for our familiars goes. These will be the same process. So elite mob packs is where you want to get these things from. And the stained remains is what you use to craft your armor gear. So, you know, your headpiece, shoulders, pants, chest, that kind of thing is what you will be using those for. So you want to be hunting elite mob packs as much as you can. The iron ore is used for your main hand and offhands. The silver ore is going to be used for the skill stones. The skill stone crafting is the silver ore. Silver ore. Okay, so there's that. Now, if you craft them as is, just with those alone, you can make a two-statted magic and a two-statted attribute and a two magic affix. All right, one of which is guaranteed to be a class-specific magic attribute. Okay, and then of course the skill stones will give you 3 class-related attributes. We'll get to the skill stones in a second, but let's get through the gear first. All right, so there's that. Now, however, if you want a guaranteed triple roll, same thing as with like the Terra Essence crafting. This one requires what is referred to as rhodolite. It is the mineral crystal that is referred to in the Chinese patch notes. So the mineral crystal rhodolite is what is being deemed as the name of it. Will guarantee 3 stat triple roll, 3 stat attribute, and 2 affixes still. Now, I was hoping to see more out of that, and there might be a chance you might possibly roll. It says at least 2, so hopefully there's a chance that we can get, like, you know, 2 affixes plus the class one. But I'm going to show some images here from the Blizzard video that they had posted along with this, and show that that's not always going to be the case. So there's also that hit or miss RNG factor at its finest, and also the give and take. As per usual, when they introduce anything for us to get our hands on, there's always a drawback of some kind. And in this case, it's the rhodolite, which is time gated. 6 per week is what we can acquire. It takes 6 per one of these triple roll crafts to be used. So there's that. So I would say kind of do, if you really want to go at it hard in the paint, min-maxing, you can still do the Terra Essence turn-ins for those, and do this one at the same time to try to speed things along. Now, the other kick on this one, which is kind of a good thing considering how rare they are, we can only get 6 of the rhodolite crystals a week, and they cannot be sold on the market. So, I mean, it kind of keeps everybody on par with each other to a certain extent. in that sense. So I'm kind of good they put that little bit in there. We still, of course, can sell the Terra Essences on the market, mind you, and I see their value going up only because of this fact. You can get all these ores and everything by, running Terra Rifts. So Terra Rifts are going to go up in value even further. So Terra Rifts are an absolute must-do now in the list of everything else already. If they weren't before, they definitely are now. Because also, with the Terra Essences, you can re-roll. Say you get a piece from like the Diablo boss fight, or you get, the one still from Terra Essence or Terra Rift runs. You get a legendary piece in there with a class-specific magic affix on it. You can re-roll those. You can go to the blacksmith and re-roll those by using a Terra Essence. Hopefully only one. Hopefully only one, because we'll be burning through them a lot more frequently now. But same thing as like when we go to enchant your gear and re-roll that way. We use the flowing shard. This is the same thing that applies for the class-specific magic affixes. We can re-roll with the Terra Essence. So Terra Essences, I think, are definitely going to go up in the market value, probably back up to the maximum price. And rightfully so, honestly. So there's that. I'm really looking forward to this entire process for what it is. I'm going to go ahead and show some images here. But first, the Chinese side of the patch notes, if you haven't read already, let's go ahead and cover this really, really quickly. You consume iron ore to craft the main hand and offhand. The fangs, or the stained remains, whichever you want to call them, because they do look like fangs, will be used to craft all your armor. All right. Again, the silver ore is for your skill stones, that kind of thing. So everything's distributed, and of course, the rarest of the rare crystals of the rhodolite is time gated 6 per week. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's get into some of the images from the Blizzard video to show how this is all going to unfold. So here we go. You select your legendary affix, and as you can see, there's the rhodolite, or rhodolite, however you want to pronounce it, I don't know. Just say magic crystals. I guess just say crystals. So there's 6 right there, and the maximum you can have per week to acquire and use. So you're getting 1 craft per week in this triple roll with the specific one legendary affix that you want to put on it for your class. In this case, it's a barbarian they used. This is just an example. And then after you do that, this is what the crafting is going to look like. Now this is under the set crafting tab. They added the equipment crafting and the skillstone crafting too, as you can see. And they've selected armor in this case, equipment and armor, and that's why it's using the fangs or the stained remains with the crystals. Now it's funny in this image because they said it wasn't available to be sold on the market yet. The crystal, for whatever reason, has a market symbol on it. This was a subject to change video whenever they put it together, so they might have been kind of spitballing it, and they thought maybe we better not. So hopefully that's what that means. So don't look into it hopefully any further than that, but I just thought that was funny. And then there's the magic affix they chose. There's the enhanced forge checkmark box, I guess. So that's what the whole process is. And then after they hit the build button, this is the end result that they got with that particular craft. And those of us in PvP already know, seeing vitality on there, we kind of groan because we don't want that. We want fortitude, willpower, and strength / intelligence. That would be the preferred triple roll. But seeing as that the case, hopefully this is not a case of, oh yeah, if you craft, it's always going to give you vitality. That would really suck. I would not be surprised, but nonetheless, here we are. Hopefully not. Again, that's the random RNG on it, and they only have, indeed, 2 magic affixes on this in this particular craft piece that they did, which I don't know how I feel about that, because I'd much rather see 2 magic affixes and a class-specific affix on top of it. That would be absolutely glorious, and considering this is time-gated to once a week, I really would have liked to have seen that. At most, I think we should possibly get maybe 2 craft per week, just the same as the Terra Essences. They might change that, hopefully fairly soon, as a possibility, but I'm just kind of spitballing that and just throwing it out there. We can take what we can get right now for this entire process. It's still way better It just sucks that it took them almost 3 years to put something like this into the game. But nonetheless, here we are. You know, give and take as per usual when it comes to this kind of thing. So there's that. Now, the skill stones looks kind of like this. It's under, you know, the set crafting tab again. Now, the very, very plus side to the skill stones, the very high upside to this, is that we no longer have to go to that other stupid NPC, except for salvaging our useless charms at this point going forward, to turn into dust, which I have so much in my bag because I never even bothered with it once it got to a certain point anymore. It just got pretty much futile to even mess with it. This process is way, way better, especially for free-to-play and low spenders, because before, with the old charm system, we'd have to go to the guy and we'd have to craft the charm all the way up to rank 5 and then rip the skill stone out with platinum. It would cost 500 platinum per, and that would suck. And then we'd have to go and put it onto the market and try to make a bit more profit on it to make up for, you know, said platinum cost to begin with. This foregoes that entire process, which is glorious. You don't have to worry about spending platinum anymore, and we get these with 3 skills to randomly roll whenever we try to upgrade our charms further. So in that sense, I like it. It's still RNG chance, but it only is going to cost the silver ore that we get from going out and mining. So that's nice. I like this way better. Now, granted, these skill stones cannot be sold on the market, so there is that drawback if you're still looking to sell them. I see skill stones on the market dropping in price even further, sadly, so it's not going to be worth the platinum cost to rip those out of from the other NPC, I don't think anymore. Honestly, this is the way to go going forward. It doesn't cost anybody anything except mining time and accumulating your silver ore. So there you go. So let me know what you think in the comments down below about this whole process. Like I said, this is purely a conversation piece, and I really, really am most looking forward to this entire process going forward. So and then of course, once this whole thing goes live, I'm gonna go over and cover this in more detail again and make probably a more detailed guide from start to finish once I can get my hands on this stuff. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it for the simple fact of the matter of we can be way more individualized on our characters and have a little bit more control over the RNG to an extent anyway, based around that, and actually finally use those skills times 4, you know, bonuses on the gear more frequently than before. So anyway, until next time, everybody, stay safe out there in the real world, and far as always, take care of yourselves as best you can. One day at a time. It's all we can do. It's the best we can do. Until next time, see ya.